Um, got it. All right, so welcome. We'll get started. So the lymphatic system is the focus of our class tonight. It's going to be some self-care for the lymphatic system. And we're also going to do a touch for health balance on ourselves, a complete touch for health balance, and move through the element cycle. So we're going to do a lot. So get ready for a good time. What I just want to start with is a little introduction to the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is the system of vessels that run through the entire body, that kind of remove waste from the body, from the organs, from the bloodstream. It kind of absorbs the waste material of the body, and then it moves up through the body, through these vessels that kind of parallel our blood vessels. So there's as many lymph vessels as blood vessels. And there's little nodes. And in these nodes, this kind of dirty water that's moving through the lymph gets cleaned out. And so a lot of our immune system is actually in the lymphatic system. And as the lymph moves through the body, it comes up towards the chest and the heart, and then right around the neck and the clavicle area, it kind of goes back down into the heart. So once everything's clean, it goes back down and the fluid gets kind of reintegrated into the system and pumped back out through the blood. So it's this slow moving system. The thing that most people say about the lymph is that it doesn't have its own pump. And so we need to move our bodies and walk and take care of the lymph a little bit more, because we are in such a seated, stagnant lifestyle, most of us at least. So we really do have to take that extra time to walk, move our bodies to help support the lymph to keep moving through the body. Now the lymph does have, the blood flow, and the pumping of the blood does help the lymph move. And our breath does as well. As long as we're taking deep breaths, it's moving the lymph through the body. But people generally just say that you should walk or bounce on a trampoline or sweat to get the lymph really moving. I'm going to give you one of my favorite self-care routines tonight, and as well as a balance for our entire system, because it's really important to balance the whole, because the lymph really is such a big part of the whole entire body. If the lymph kind of is stagnant or stuck, or it gets kind of clogged up, because we're stressed out, the vessels kind of close off, just like the blood vessels would close off when we're in a stress state. The blood flow is restricted, and so does the lymph flow get restricted. So we need to kind of make sure we're relaxing our bodies and our minds to allow the flow of the lymph through the body. And if it gets stuck and stagnant, then we get brain fog, we get skin rashes and breakouts, constipation, struggle with weight issues and water retention, get tired and fatigued a lot more. There's headaches, throat and sinus pain can result, muscle stiffness and joint pain, which I think is a two-way street. The lymph can cause that stiffness, and then we don't move the body. And then that stiffness results in more stagnancy of the lymph. And we just kind of become inflamed, right? So I know that was a really fast introduction to a really big system. Does anyone have any questions or want to contribute anything at this point? Okay. So we're just looking at the body as a whole tonight. And first, we're going to start with the big six. This is a massage, self-massage that I do on myself every morning. So I wake myself up, because I really hate getting out of bed and I feel stagnant in bed. So I've been starting to do this every morning. So the big six are the big six kind of intersections or junctures where the lymph kind of flows through. And we start with kind of like a toll booth is how people explain it. And if the toll booth is backed up, the cars down the line can't get through, right? So we want to, since the lymph moves all the way up the body, all the way up from the arms and the legs and up into this collarbone area, this is the last toll booth before it gets recycled back into the body or reintroduced. So we're going to start massaging the first part of the 6, which is the collarbones at the base of the neck, above and below. So you can just kind of give yourself a little rub here, because we're opening up this, we're kind of releasing any buildup in this area so that we can move. And the massage consists of 3 parts, a little bit of a little rub, and then we do a little tapping in the area. Light, very light touch. You don't want to push hard because that's actually going to freeze it up more. So the lighter and gentler, the better. And so just going to breathe. We're just opening this up. And then you can just do light little circles. I'd like to do like little fluffy circles. All right, and then I take my hands and I make little Spock, and I put them in the front and back of the ears, and I just give myself a little rub, just in the towards the back, rubbing lightly, just like you're moving the skin, and then just a very gentle tap, especially behind the ears, behind the mastoid process. And then just little fluffy circles. So that's number 2. And then the third gateway that we're going to open is kind of the armpit area. So you can do one at a time or both. Just a little rub, hook your hand under the armpit, and just like a light little massage. And then a little tap. And you can get up into the armpit. Maybe sometimes I even like to go back a little further towards where the shoulders and the chest meet. I find that I feel a lot of stuff back there for myself. Tap, fluffy circles. So that's number 3. So for the upper body, we have the collarbones, behind the ears, the armpits, and then we're going to go onto the stomach. So I put my hands kind of together and I gently rub around the belly. I go clockwise. It's kind of waking up. So there's a lot of lymphatic involvement in the digestive system. And a little tap. A little light, kind of feathery, tickly, all around the belly. That's number 4. And then the 5th one is the groin. So from the hips down to the middle, and you can just kind of do a light rub there. And then a tap. And little circles. And then the last one, the 6th one of the big 6, is behind and the inside of the knees. So you're going to kind of rub in there. So think of the major junctures of the body, like the lymph kind of gets backed up in these areas, right? And it'll tap. And little circles, little fluffies. So you can do this laying down in bed like I do, trying to get out. You can also, once you've done that, go down to the ankles, the elbows. You can do the face. You can do this kind of massage to the whole body, the low back. So the big 6 is, just to reiterate, starting at this very important collarbone area, going behind the ears, armpits, belly, groin, and knees. All right. So that if you take anything home tonight, I want you to try that for a week every morning. Now we're going to go into more of a yoga practice. So close your eyes and bring your hands on the low belly. And as you inhale, feel the low belly expand into your hands. And as you exhale, you can exhale through the mouth, just letting it all out. So inhale into the low belly. And exhale, releasing any tension from the body, coming into a more relaxed state. One more inhale. Let the low belly really expand. And exhale, relax it out. And then bring your hands to your sides, just next to the ribs, either like this, or you can give yourself a hug. Now I want you to inhale into the low belly. Continue to inhale out to the side of the ribs. And then exhale, let the ribs come in. And let the low belly relax. So we're really letting the breath move the body, move the lymph. Inhale to the low belly. Side ribs. Just let it out and relax. And then bring your hands to your collarbones right there where we were rubbing before. Inhale to the low belly, the side ribs, and all the way up to the fingertips, all the way up to the collarbones. Exhale through the mouth. Really moving the breath. Inhale, belly, sides, collarbones, and relax it out. And then bring your hands down to your knees. And we're going to take a couple cat cows. Inhale, lift the chest and chin. Stretch the front of the body. Exhale, chin to chest. Pull the belly back, round the spine, stretch the back of the shoulders. Inhale, come forward, front body stretch. Exhale, really moving slowly, smoothly, and gently. The key to moving lymph is to be gentle, calm, connected with the body. And then coming back to center, take an inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to twist to your right, bringing your right hand to the left knee and just looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, try to lift through the crown of the head, straighten the spine, and exhale, just look a little bit further back. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist over to the left. Looking over the shoulder, straight spine, inhale, grow taller. Exhale, deepen the stretch. Inhale. And come back to center. Good. Inhale, bring both arms up. And you can clasp your hands if you want to and let the index finger point straight up. And as you exhale, lean over to the right. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale. And one more time to the right. Inhale. Exhale to the left. Inhale, separate your hands. Exhale, let yourself fold forward and let your hands come towards your feet, or you can rest your elbows on your knees. If it's too much, you can let your head hang down. So option to keep the elbows on the knees if you have any issues with this. And just kind of sway your knees a little bit side to side. Just let your head rock side to side and sway. And breathe deep into the belly. And then slowly release. Come on back up to seated. Carefully. Inhale, arms reach up high. And then let the hands come together and let them float slowly down to the heart. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. And arriving here, bring your, we're going to do a touch for health kind of balance. So bring one hand to the belly button and the other hand just below the collarbones and the little notch just beneath the collarbones. And you're going to rub, these are called your kidney 27 points. And this will kind of center your mind. And switch hands and rubbing beneath the collarbones and the little kind of notches on the upper chest. And then take that hand and reach back for your tailbone and rub up and down on your tailbone. I know you're looking ahead at your screen, but I want you to be in your body. So switch hands and rub the tailbone with the other hand. This is getting you more centered in your body. And then take the hand and rub upper and lower lip just above on the skin, above and below the lip. Just rub there. And switch hands. And then we'll trace the central vessel. So they're tracing the meridian from the groin all the way up the center of the body to the lower lip and just touch the lower lip. And you can do that 3 times, sealing in your energy into your body. This is like your zipper zipping up. And we're going to go ahead and think about something that's overwhelming us. Okay, so think about your life and what's happening, and bring to mind something stressful. And it could be a situation, could be something in your body that's stressful. Maybe you feel overwhelmed with a physical issue. And we're going to take our hands and just hold the forehead above the eyes. This is called emotional stress release. And if you feel more comfortable, you can rest, kind of cross your hand and rest your fingertips lightly on the forehead. I'm just going to go through the stress of the day, or the stress of whatever it is that you're holding on to. So the lymph has this emotional connection, right? The things that are bogging us down, weighing us down in life, things that feel like unresolved. Just think about that issue. Slightly hold the forehead, your eyes closed. Maybe somewhere where you feel stuck, right? And now you can let go. And you might want to try that, think more about it later, a little more time. But holding your forehead while you think about stress is helping release the state of tension around it. So we're letting our bodies relax. And now we're going to form a goal. So form a goal, maybe in relation to that stressful situation, that's in the positive. So if your issue was, I'm feeling bogged down or weighed down by this issue, you could say something like, I have freedom in regards to this issue, or I feel ready to move forward. So think about a goal in the positive sense, right? So setting that kind of intention, but a little more specific with a touch for health paradigm here. And we're going to go through a touch for health kind of 14 muscle balance using the neurolymphatic for this. So start with your arms by your side and just bring them out and forward slightly and in, and thinking about your goal, and see how how this feels. Breathing, remember to breathe, be in your body, just like a yoga move, feeling your body. Now we're going to do the neurolymphatic massage for that muscle, which is along the sleeve line if you were wearing a tank top, right? So from the armpit up to the kind of outside, the collarbone, both sides. And you can restate your goal as much as you want, your positive affirmation statement. And then you rub the bump at the back of the head, the back of the skull, just a light lymphatic massage on these points related to this central meridian of the body. Then bring your arms by your side again, and again, restate the goal as you move the muscle. And you should feel ease and lightness that wasn't there before. And then we'll go into the governing meridian, which bring your hands behind you, the backs of your hands on the low back, and your elbows pull back. And you're just going to squeeze the elbows back and kind of like a chicken wing motion. And say, thinking about your goal. And then we're going to kind of come just beneath the ears and down past the collarbones about an inch. And we're going to rub those points here, the lymphatic for the governing meridian. And then bring your hands, so the upper back, so you're going to bring your fingertips as kind of low down between the shoulders on the upper neck as you can. And you can just rub there and maybe touch there and pull the elbows down. This is a good lymphatic massage too, pulling from the back to the front of the neck. And again, when you're ready, hands behind you, think about your positive statements. And coming to the stomach meridian. So we're going to move through all the major meridians of the body through the muscles and the lymphatics. Bring your hands forward, turn the thumbs down, and press down and back. This is the pec major clavicular muscle. So this is the, think about your goal statement. And this one, we're going to take the edge of our thumb under the left breast and kind of trace under the breast, going back and forth in a U-like shape. And then the point on the back is kind of, it's between the shoulder blades. So maybe imagine you have an itch between your shoulder blades on either side of the spine. Make like a little V with your hand and just kind of a light little rub there. Good. And then again, hands forward, thumbs down. Think about your goal. Just notice any change in the sensation of that muscle. Now this is latissimus dorsi muscle, so it's along the back. Hands by your side. Turn your thumbs in and the backs of your hands towards your body like a penguin. You're pushing out from the sides of your body and out and slightly forward. And think about your goal. And then take your left hand and trace your rib cage down and until you feel a little notch between your 7th and 8th ribs. And you're going to rub, you'll find it, tender little spot here. And then should be tender. And then you just do a little scratch on either side of your spine, mid to upper rib cage. Good. And then again, thumbs in, hands, backs of the hands into the body. And again, repeat your statement in your head. We're moving kind of the emotions of our goal through our body here. Now, the next one is for the heart meridian, the subscapularis muscle. So like a scarecrow, make a 90-degree angle with your arms, and then bring your hands, so your elbows are at shoulder height, and you're gonna put your hands down, fingertips towards the floor, and press back. So lift and lower. You're just noticing as you say your statement. And then come again to the collarbones, a little wider out, and down, and rub just again near the K27s, a little wider than the. You'll feel tender. Any tender point will do the job, really. When we feel tenderness in these lymphatic points, it really means that there's something stuck there. So that's why I say that. And again, fingertips to the upper back, and just kind of lift and lower the elbows, trying to dig the fingers into the upper back. Good. And then arms out and stating your goal. All right, a few more. This one is quadricep muscle. So we're gonna lift knees directly above the ankles, lift one foot off the ground. I'm gonna press down on that knee and then the other, and just notice. And then take your thumbs and the edges of your thumbs and rub up and down along the inside of the rib cage, tracing from the center out. And then taking your thumbs and maybe tracing from your lowest ribs, kidney area, up the back. You're scratching either side of the spine. And then again, testing that muscle. So lift one knee, press, say your goal statement. I know this isn't typical yoga, but we're Touch for Health and yoga. We're going to stand up and moving back so you can see me, but we're working on the peroneus muscle. So take 1 foot forward and lift the pinky up and out so the big toe comes to the ground. And then what you're going to do is scoop down to the ground, activating the peroneus muscle. And then the other side, just notice how that feels. And then the lymphatic points for this are either side of the belly button, so about 2 inches on either side of the belly button. And then take the edge of your thumb and back and forth on top of the pubic bone. And then the back, it's a bit easier. Just the notches at the back of the hip, these little knobs. Move into the kidney meridian. This is for the psoas. Take one leg out and forward, turn the toes out, and come straight back and out. And saying your statement. And go to the belly button up an inch and out an inch. So just above the point we did before. And then on the back, directly behind that, pretty much And then recheck that muscle, the psoas. You'll feel a little bit more light. So we're moving, using the neurolymphatic points from Touch for Health, moving the energy through the body. And this one is for the pericardium meridian, the glute medius. So feet together, and then let me step back so you can see me. Bring one foot out to the side, toes straight ahead, kind of squeeze it in and out like a nutcracker. And the other side. And this one, the neurolymphatic, is again on the pubic bone, just above it. And on the hip points behind you, the knobs of the hips. And then recheck the muscle. This is for our triple warmer meridian. So make a W with your hands, elbows forward, hands out to the side. Bring your hands towards your heart and open. Saying your statement. And then come to the collarbones and directly down and out slightly. And these are near the kidney 27 points. Come to the back. So lift your elbows up, rub the tops of the shoulders. Good. Anterior deltoid. Bring your hands forward about 30 to 40 degrees and come down. And then there's 4 points on the chest. So come kind of, if you're at the nipple line, come in and then up and above and below that. So the center upper chest, there's 4, like a square. Yeah, lots of good stuff in there. And then the points on the back are really hard to get. It's directly behind that 4 points, but just kind of tickle it if you can. All right, hands forward, thumbs down, liver, come up and out. And then take your right hand, edge of the thumb on a circle, kind of under the right breast. And then directly behind that, just on the right side, on the side of the spine. All right, hands forward, thumbs down, lift up and out. I don't know, I feel more lightness when I do this second time around. We have 2 more. The lung. So bring your arms up in front of you and forward. And then kind of slightly lift the shoulders up and forward. You can lower, like you're reaching to grab some plates off of a shelf and bring them down, right? And again, we have the fabulous 4 points in the center here. So it's between the ribs. It's really tender. And then behind, little scratch in the back there, right? And then again, grabbing those plates and bringing them down. Maybe it feels less heavy this time. So that was the lung meridian. And the last one we're going to do is the large intestine meridian. This is really letting go, right? Letting go of any last bit of stress you have around this goal. So this is the fascia lata. So take your one leg out to the side and slightly forward and turn the toes in. Going to feel a little strain here in the hip and bring it in towards the standing leg. And then switch sides. Just notice what's going on in the body. It's tight for a lot of people. And then we'll massage from the hips down towards the knee, just up and down on the leg. And then the back points again are a little easy, just above the hip to the kidneys. I like to use my knuckles and just kind of circle in there. That's actually a triangle going on either side of the spine, up to the kidneys and out to the hips. It's a pretty wide area. All right. And then again, stating your goal, leg out and forward and bring it in. All right, so that was a touch for health balance. We moved through all the meridians of the body, and now we're ready to do some more traditional yoga. All right, so starting in mountain pose, arms by your side. Rock back and forth on your feet, spreading the soles of your feet wide on the floor. Lifting up through the crown of the head, feel the back of the neck lengthen. Feel the chest lift slightly in the front, but pull the low ribs down towards the hips so that you don't puff the chest out forward. And you'll feel the abdominals engage. And then just rest in your center, rooting down through the feet and feeling the strength of this pose. Inhale and exhale. Just feeling your sense of stability and strength. Inhale, slowly lift the arms up. And we'll look up between the hands if that's okay on your neck. And exhale, soften the knees and sweep the arms down towards the floor. Let the head hang down towards the knees. Inhale, lift your chest halfway up, let the hands slide up the shins, press into the shins, reach forward, and then exhale, fold back down. And then one more inhale, lengthen the spine, reach forward. Exhale, folds back down. And inhale, reach the arms up high. And exhale, hands to heart center. Arms by your side, mountain pose. We're going to widen the feet, soften the knees, and do a little bit of a lymphatic bounce, right? So if you don't have a trampoline, this is a good way to really get the lymph to start moving. So we're going to just lift and lower our heels, like a little stomping, and let your hands just hang by your side. Let it out through your, sigh it out. So inhale, feel everything jiggle and shake. Kicks hips side to side. Maybe move your heels side to side. Let everything jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. And slowly come to stillness. Take a deep inhale and exhale through the mouth. Inhale and exhale. So what we're going to do now is move through the 5 elements, starting with earth and moving all the way around to fire. And we're going to balance the yin. If you're not a touch for health person, just don't worry about the technicalities at this point. We're going to balance the yin organs in the co-cycle, which is the cycle of flow, right? So let's start with hands on your hips and step the left foot forward and the right foot back as wide as you can. And you can take your feet wide side to side as well. The back heel should be comfortable. You may want to pull it in slightly. And then we're going to bend the front knee and come into warrior one. Right. So sorry, you can't see my whole body. So we're going to really root down into that back heel and make sure the front knee is just above the ankle. And take your arms by your side and out and reach them slightly back. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, bring the hands together and towards the line of your face. So inhale, open. So this is the spleen organ muscle, which is in relationship to the earth elements. And the spleen is the master organ of the lymphatic system. We're starting here, opening it up. You can inhale, arms straight out to the side like a T, and then bring it forward. Inhale out. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Interlace your hands. Reach the index finger forward. And then lift the arms up. Squeeze the elbows in towards the top of the head. Lift the chest and gentle back bend. And then bring your hands down to the heart and step forward. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up, inhale. And exhale, hands to heart. And now we're going to step the left leg back, right foot forward, hips square, back heel is comfortable, so the toes are pointing out at a slight angle. And bend into the front knee, bending only until the knee is just above the front heel. And then lean your weight back into that back heel slightly and press the back knee further back. Good, and then we'll start with the arms by the side. Inhale and exhale, bring them forward. Inhale. Just activating the spleen meridian. Warming it up a little bit. And then arms out to the side. Inhale, open. Exhale, forward. One more inhale. And bring it forward. Now, interlace your hands the opposite way. Opposite thumb on top, awkward grip. Index finger points forward. And then lift the arms up. Lift the chest, maybe lift the gaze. Root into the back heel. Deep breath in. And exhale, bring your hands to the heart. Step forward. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Flowing. Exhale, fold. This time you're going to stay forward folding. Widen your feet. Grab opposite elbow with opposite hand. Ragdoll. Let your head hang forward. So you're hanging forward, head is hanging, and you can gently rock side to side. Massaging the rib cage on the upper legs, really bending the knees. Massaging with your breath. Let your shoulders hang heavy, let your head hang heavy. And just gently relax and slowly come on up, rolling one vertebrae at a time. Coming back to center. So that was trapezius muscle, and that's the earth element that we were activating. Now flowing into the metal element and the lung meridian, we're going to bring your feet together, toes touch, heels slightly separated, and you're going to sit back like you're going to sit into a chair, but you don't have to go very far. It's late. We don't have to do anything too intense. Let your hands reach down, fingertips down towards the earth, lift the chest. And then we're going to do this anterior serratus muscle, like you're reaching for those dishes on a shelf, right? Deep breath in and exhale. And if you want to join me for a little breath work here, you're going to inhale. And then you're going to pump the stomach as you exhale. Couple body breathing. Just pulse the breath out. Inhale, stand tall, hands reach together, look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up high. Exhale, hands to heart, sit back down. Arms by your side, chest lifts, shoulders relax down. And then lift arms forward and up. Reach forward like you're trying to grab something off a shelf. And then pulsing the breath out gently. Pulse the belly in, snap it in. Good, inhale, arms up, look up, fingertips can touch. And exhale, hands by your side. Good, step your feet wide. Shake it out a little bit. We're gonna do a little qigong. So we're gonna let the arms swing side to side. Make sure you aren't gonna hit anything. You're just tapping the hips, low back. And then you can start to increase the range of motion and tap the mid back to upper back. Your knees can bend and maybe lift the back heel too if you want to really get into it. Tap the upper shoulders, upper back. Really letting yourself flow. You guys look so cute, the two of you. Coordinated dancers. Come on, back to middle very slowly. Coming back to stillness, letting the hands just be really heavy by your side. Again, step the feet back together and stand. Gentle mountain pose, feeling the energy drip down and out of the hands. And we're moving into the water element. So this is the psoas muscle. What we're gonna do is just some leg circles. If you wanna hold onto your chair, you're gonna bring your one leg forward, out and around. And flex the toes. Just some hip circles. You can change directions. Imagine you're kicking around some water. You're standing in some water and you're kicking it around. You switch legs. This is water element. Kidney. Good, and change directions. Good. And then stand both legs firmly on the ground beneath you. You're going to bend one knee and lift the heel behind you and just open and close for the iliacus muscle right there in the hip. And step down, do the other. flowing like water. Good. And let's see, just checking the time. Separate your feet wide. So inverting the body, getting the heart below the hips is really good. So I want to make sure, this is another favorite kind of water practice that I do. So feet wide, heels and toes in one straight line, hands on the hips, and just lift through the chest, hinge at the hips and come forward. And then slowly bring your hands to the floor and let your head hang down. So imagine a waterfall from your tailbone all the way out through the crown of the head. You can plant your hands on the floor beneath you, or you can reach out and grab your ankles. I like to slide my thumbs under and grab my kidney 1 point, which is right beneath the base of the big toe, in the middle of the foot, just to kind of activate the kidney meridian a little bit more here. And you're drawing your chest towards your knees. You're lifting your tailbone to the sky and letting your head hang forward. And just imagine that rushing waterfall of energy going from the hips down to the head. And then slowly soften the knees and roll your way up and step the feet together. So moving from water into the wood element, water feeds wood, water feeds the roots that grows trees. So we're going to do tree pose. Standing in mountain pose to start, rock back and forth, widening your feet on the ground. We'll bend the right knee forward and then pivot it out to the side. Make sure that the left hip doesn't pop out. Pull in and up through the center. You can let the right heel rest above the standing ankle. You can step the foot to the inside of the calf. Make sure you're not on the knee joint, just below the knee. And if you want, you can grab the heel and bring it up to the upper thigh. Just make sure there's no weight on the inner knee. Wherever you are, bring your hands forward. Lift the chest, pull the hips in so you're not slouching out to the side. Turn the thumbs down. And then we're going to lift the arms up and back. And this is a pec major sternal muscle for the liver. And also pressure on the inside of the leg, which is the liver meridian. And you can relax the shoulders, reach up through the chest. And then come down, step down and march it out. And again, find your feet on the floor, find the roots of your tree. And spread your feet wide, bend the left knee now. And just hinge the hip so the knee swings out to the side. Toes can rest on the ground, heel on the ankle. And bring the foot to the inside of the calf or up to the inner groin. Wherever you are, you can bring your hands by your side. And if you want to join me for the liver muscle, hands, thumbs down, lift up and open. And rooting down through the feet, squeezing into the midline. So you're lifting up through the center of the body. Deep breath in and out, relax. Good, march it out. So finally in our cycle, we've gone earth, metal, water, wood, and now from wood, we're moving into fire. Wood feeds fire. So we've gone through this cycle, starting in the spleen with the lymph, and now moving it through the body, and finally kind of letting it burn up in fire. So what we're gonna do is widen the legs, turn the toes out, bend the knees. And so look down, make sure your knees and toes are generally pointing in the same direction. And if they're not, kind of turn the toes in, press the knees out, try to get them in general so the knees aren't too knocked in. And so this is called goddess pose, and you can lean slightly back. And then bring your hands up by your side. Remember this subscapularis muscle. So your hands are about level with the elbows, elbows level with the shoulders. We're gonna do lion's breath, moving into subscap. So inhale. And as you exhale, press the hands down and stick your tongue as far out as you can. Good. Inhale, come back up. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Good. Hands down, turn the toes in, steps the feet together, hands by your side, and just to relax for a moment here. Completed a whole cycle through the yin meridians, supporting this. Yin is like the lymph. It's constantly working, constantly moving. It doesn't take a break, right? So think back to that goal you set at the beginning. And then we'll just take a half sun. Inhale, arms up high. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to the shins, look forward. Exhale, fold. And then this time you're gonna walk your hands forward, come down to your hands and knees. So bring your into tabletop position. And we're gonna inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin and chest. Exhale, round. So cat cow on hands and knees. Slowly and gently moving. And now if you want to, you can circle the rib cage around or stay with cat cow. You can imagine your whole rib cage is like a spatula or a bottle brush, and you're reaching around all dimensions, all the corners. Moving anything that's stuck or stagnant slowly and gently. Change directions if you're moving in the circular motion. Or move any way that feels good. Just moving the spine and following the breath in and out. Now we're going to take our toes and touch the toes together and bring the hips back towards the heels. Widen the knees if you want to. And we're going to come into child's pose, which isn't always comfortable. So if you want, you can walk your hands forward and let your forehead rest on the ground, or you can rest your elbows on the ground and let your forehead rest on top of your hands. Or you can bring your knees together and arms by your side and let your forehead rest on the ground. Many options here. What I want is that your forehead rest on something. So if your forehead is hovering in space, bring a block or a pillow or folded up blanket underneath it. And close your eyes and just let yourself feel the breath move into the belly. Slowly letting it out and in from the body. Softening the jaw or anything that feels tense in the head, neck or shoulders. You can gently kind of jiggle yourself side to side, like settling into this. And if you want, you can kind of crawl. If your hands are in front of you, you can walk your hands to the right side and reach a little longer through your left arm, stretching that whole side body, spleen meridian. Making room between the rib cage with the breath. And if you've chosen to go to one side, walk back through center and walk your hands to the left. Reach a little longer through the right arm. Breathing deeper into the right side rib cage, under the right shoulder blade. Come back to center. Resting in the middle. And slowly pressing yourself away from the floor and swing your legs around. Bring your knees in front of you. You can lean back on your hands and kind of jiggle your knees. Tap the backs of the knees against the floor. Shake your feet, a little clapping of the big toes, open and closed. And now, the final, most important part is Shavasana, so resting pose. So there's a couple options here. What I would like to suggest is that you bring your legs up for your final rest, because that's very good for the lymphatic system. But if you don't want to do that, you can lay flat on the floor or sit on your chair. There's a couple options for legs up. You can take your chair. This is really good for your back as well. Bring your hips to the bottom of the chair and then bring your lower legs up onto the chair, and you can lay like this on the floor with your legs on the seat of the chair. Another option is to come up to a wall and slide your tush up to the wall, right? As close as you can get your tailbone to the wall. And then you can lift your legs up and let the heels rest against the wall. So whatever option you've chosen, legs up the wall, legs on the chair, or laying flat on your back. Make sure your shoulders are not up by the ears, kind of maybe walk them down. Take a deep breath into the belly, just let it out. Just bring your awareness to the body and all of the amazing things that your body is always doing. From your heart all the way out to the tiniest little capillaries on your fingertips. You're moving blood, lymph, energy. Just kind of smiling at the beauty of how it all works so seamlessly. With each breath, let your body relax just a little bit more. Let your breath get a little more slow. Let go of one more thing that you're carrying. I just muscle tested an affirmation for the class. I take time to stop and appreciate the simplicity of noticing beautiful things. I take the time to stop and appreciate the simplicity of noticing beautiful things. I take the time to stop and appreciate the simplicity of noticing beautiful things. I want you to imagine that something you love smelling is in front of you. Flower, food, something you love the smell of, and bring that to mind. Each breath, just start to deepen the breath and imagine you're filling your body with the beauty of the smell of that thing. Getting kind of waking up the body a little bit. Noticing a smile on your face as you breathe. Imagine smelling your favorite thing. And then start to move your fingers and toes. If your legs are on the chair, you can start to slowly bring them in towards your chest, or if they're up the wall, hug them in and carefully roll onto your side. Hang out on your side for a moment. And then when you feel ready to, keeping your eyes closed, you'll press your way off the ground slowly, step by step, bit by bit, inch by inch. There's no rush. Keep your eyes closed and just come to some form of seated position. And you can bring your hands flat over your heart or together in a prayer position and bowing towards your hands. Deep smiling breath into the body and out. Thank you for joining us today. I know it was a real lot of information, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. And I'm so happy you all made it. And let me know if you have questions or want to talk. I'm here.
That was wonderful, Liz. I'm a big fan of lymphatic support, and it was really fascinating to explore all those common yoga poses associated with other elements and other aspects of the body. So that was really fascinating. Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That was, a combination of kinesiology and yoga, and it's kind of a mix up.
It's like